bit, I went ahead and lost my phone, which is unlike me to do. I lose my wallet, I lose my keys. I never lose my phone. But anyway, here we are. We're here now. And I'm so glad you're here. So, okay, let's get this on my tripod, why don't we say? And we'll talk about what we're going to do today. So first of all, thank you all for joining. I'm so excited. I tried to avoid wearing Ronald McDonald's colors. Last time I wore this yellow shirt with a red apron, everybody's like, you look like Ronald McDonald. And I was like, okay, that's not very nice. So today I think this is more burgundy than red. What do you guys think? Okay, so what we're gonna do today is create a sort of rainbow colored cake. So I've got all these rainbow cake layers, and we're gonna like stack them up. We're gonna frost it. We're gonna do some vintage piping on it. It's gonna be really fun. So I'm excited about that. Can everyone hear me well and everything? Let me know if you can't. Because if you can't, that would be a problem. Or actually, maybe I'm better on mute. The apron is gorgeous. Thank you. I stole it off the set of Is It Cake Holiday. And by stole, I mean, yeah, I kind of stole it. They kind of gave it to me, I think. They kind of gave it to me, but I kind of stole it. Now, we're going to be making a rainbow cake. And before I get going, I want to take it to a poll. I'm going to ask the audience. Which direction should it be? Like which rainbow direction should it be? It's going to be Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or violet, I guess. But we're not going to do, but I want to know if red should be at the bottom or red should be at the top. Does that make sense? It's hard to know. Yeah. So let me know in the comments, should that red be at the bottom or red be at the top? You like red on top? You want it red on bottom? You guys, you're killing me. I hate when you're arguing in the comments. No, I'll keep, red should be on top, red on top. Okay, so you guys want it to be like, do I dare flip it over like this? Oh, Johnny, Jimmy, Polly. That's my impression of my dad when he was picking us up when we were kids and we were getting too heavy. He'd go, oh, Johnny, you're too big for me. Literally one vote for bottom, LOL, rip. It's your birthday, so this video is perfect for today. Happy birthday. I'm making you a birthday cake, it looks like. So yeah, essentially what we're gonna do, okay, so purple's gonna be at bottom. I should start with all of these off to the side here. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna layer these cake layers up in rainbow order. Then we are going to do a quick crumb coat on the outside, and then we are going to do a final coat and some vintage piping on the outside. Now, as we do this live, I will want to answer your questions and talk to you guys about what you've been up to, how your week's going, how your 2025 is going. I'm in Los Angeles, and let me tell you, it's been crazy here. The fires have been awful. So if anybody watching is affected by the fires, I'm sending my love. Luckily, we are out of the area where the fires were burning. So I have these cake boards that I'll put down for frosting the cake. The reason we use cake boards is because you have to constantly be taking your cake off of your turntable and put it in the fridge and out of the fridge to set it up and get the frosting like sort of hard and set. So if you have it on a cake board, it's easier to do that. I also have sorry, let me just pull out. This is my bin of tools that I had set aside for this live so I wouldn't have to be running all over my kitchen. Another thing I like to do is take some tape. This is aluminum foil tape. I use this for cake decorating. It's good for like structure building. Or if I put a threaded rod or any rods or dowels through the cake, I can wrap them with the aluminum foil tape. And then you get like a really food safe like surface. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. It doesn't. It doesn't really matter. You guys, like, you're not here to like learn about cake structure building, right? You're here to watch me make a cake. How's everyone's week going? I saw some people saying it's all right. Someone said it's your worst week ever. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better. Did you see the new fire? Yes, I know more fires in Los Angeles. Very, very scary. Scary time to be alive. Not a great 2025, if you ask me. But what can you do? You love watching my content? Thank you. All right, so we are going to do a quick coat of just plain vanilla white buttercream at the base of the cake board. This will help the cake stick to the board and allow us to have sort of like a secure surface for everything to latch onto. I'm gonna put down my first layer of cake, which in this case is purple. Is a purple cake. Should I switch the orientation? Would that be easier for you guys if I did this? Oh, that doesn't switch the orientation. Literally, that just showed you like the living room, LOL. All right, well, we're not gonna switch the orientation then. Question, I have this bundt cake pan from my grandma with a rose pattern on top. The pattern always gets lost even when you butter and flour the F out of it. What can you do? That's a really good question. Okay, so bundt pans are tricky because what tends to happen with bundt pans is that we put the, even if we put flour and sugar and even if we like prep it right, the cake sticks to those little crevices up top and it makes it so that the cake doesn't want to come out of the pan. So there's a couple things you can do. The first thing you can do is try editing the recipe of cake you're putting in the pan. Let me know in the comments, whoever commented that, what kind of cake recipe you're using. Are you using box cake? Are you making a homemade cake? Because that's gonna adjust, or that's gonna change how the cake sits in the pan and comes out of the pan, if that makes sense. My guess is that if you're using, say, like a really like inexpensive box cake, it may just be that the cake wants to crumble more easily. You may have to use a more stable cake recipe. Just a really simple butter cake recipe. Use coconut oil and castor sugar. I know it's, oh, that's a really good tip. Yeah, if anybody in the comments has any take on this as well, please put it in the comments. I would say that's a good trick, coconut oil and sugar. I would say what you really want is a really nice crusty exterior so that it pops out. If you have a cake that's too structurally unsound, it's going to want to stick into those crevices and it'll be a problem. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So now we need green. Green's up next. As I'm stacking the cake, I'm trying to get it as level as possible. You'll see I already leveled off the tops of my cake so that they're nice and flat. So when each layer stacks on top of each other, it'll like stack straight or straight-ish. Yeah. You tried my box cake additions. Oh, from my YouTube video, and you thought the cake was dense. That's a really interesting thing. So, okay, if you tried my hack at like zhuzhing up like really inexpensive cake mix like Betty Crocker, what I recommend doing is adding an extra egg and also swapping out all of the butter for oil. So if that was too dense for you, I kind of like a cake like that. But if that was too dense for you, I have two recommendations next time. One, don't add the extra egg. Eggs add stability, which will add to that denseness, if you will. And second of all, I would maybe not swap the butter out for sugar. Butter for sugar. I would not swap the butter out for oil. I would keep the oil. Oil doesn't add any flavor. Neutral oils don't add flavor. Like a vegetable oil or a canola oil, what they do is they add a lot of moisture, whereas butter adds a little bit less moisture, but adds more flavor. So I would go ahead and not swap the butter for oil next time. I baked a cake on my own once for Valentine's Day, and it made my husband sick. Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your husband's okay. Did he bounce back? Okay. So we've got this. Now we've got purple, blue, green, and yellow. The sides of these cakes are a little discolored. You'll notice the inside is much more vivid. It's just the very outer bit, and what that is it's caramelization. So basically think of sugar becoming caramelized. When it heats up, it turns brown, right? White sugar turns brown, makes caramel. Same thing is happening to cake, right? The sugar in the cake is cooking and the color is changing. And that just happens on the exterior where the cake meets the pan, or the batter meets the pan, I should say. And it really doesn't change the flavor whatsoever. However, if it really bothers you, you could go ahead and trim the exterior of the cake and it would be totally fine. I'm superior. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Welcome everybody who's here. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? We are decorating a cake, which is really exciting. This is a rainbow cake. We're making it vintage piped and hopefully very pretty. So let me know what you think of it as we do it. Please comment if you don't mind sharing this live. That really helps us get new viewers. So I would really appreciate that. And if you can't share it, that's fine too. I won't hold it against you. I will just cry tonight in my sleep, and that's fine. My week has been good, and I got into NJSH. What's that? Greetings from Chile. Hello, how are you? Where's Cake Twink? Cake Twink is on a little trip with his mom in Southern California right now. I'm in Southern California, but he's even more south of me right now. So he will hopefully be back in our next video. Yes, for those of you just joining, we are making a rainbow colored cake. This is really fun because when we cut into it, which I think we should do in this live, what do you think? It'll be all the colors of the rainbow. And as I'm stacking, I'm triple checking to make sure I'm doing it right. I'm building the rainbow upside down, Roy G. Biv. So it's gonna be red on top, then orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. We'll call it purple. Yeah, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next on my YouTube channel. I've been doing a ton of fun videos. It's been so much fun doing YouTube videos with you guys, or for you guys. We've done, let's see, recently a lot of easy bake oven baking videos. So I baked an entire Thanksgiving dinner in an easy bake oven. The last video I did was a vlog at Disney World when I was there with the Try Guys. I went around Epcot and ate a pastry and honestly had a drink in every single country of Epcot. And that was really fun. Let me know what videos you guys want to see next. I love making YouTube videos. It is so much fun. Honestly, I didn't realize how much fun it would be to do videos where I don't have to make hyper-realistic cakes or cake decorate in general. Although some of these YouTube videos I'm still cake decorating. I think I'm gonna do a romantic 3-course dinner for my boyfriend in the next video. And for that one, we're gonna use obviously the Easy Bake Oven. And I think I'm gonna decorate one of those like vintage heart-shaped cakes, but it's gonna be mini. So let me know if you want to see that. The only thing I know about baking is the sourdough, everything my daughter bakes for me. I don't bake bread. Do you guys like baking bread? I am really more interested in sweets than savory when it comes to baking. So I like making donuts, macarons, obviously cake. Pie is one of my favorite things to bake. I always have loved baking pie. Yeah. You're excited for more Easy Bake Oven videos? Thank you. We're gonna do some more reviewing videos as well. This is the last layer. What do you guys think? Well, this is a tall cake. I didn't intend for it to be this tall, but it just like is. So like, what are we gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty straight, right? You can see like, it's pretty straight. I'm gonna take my straight edge and just make sure we're straight as we go around, because we really want this to line up well. If this doesn't line up top to bottom, then what's gonna happen is the cake is gonna be like wonky like this, and we want it to really be straight up and down like this. I'm pretty happy with this. What do you guys think? You really need to collaboration with Trixie and the Easy Bake Oven. I would love to collab with Trixie Mattel. That would be a dream come true. Make sure if you want to see that, you let everybody involved know, because the more people who say they want to see that, I think the more likely it is to happen. Glad the cake is straight, because I'm not. Kristen, me either. If you guys are enjoying this live, please keep asking questions. Please keep commenting. And the best thing you can do actually is like it and share. That goes for all of my YouTube videos. I'm so grateful for you guys, and making these YouTube videos has been legitimately so much fun. And yeah, I would just say like, in order to do more YouTube, we really need to have that audience. And in the last couple months, we've really built up our long form YouTube audience, which has been great. So of course I would appreciate it if you all continue to watch my videos, comment on them, sharing them is really good. Yeah, anyway, just a little self-promotion. The truth is though, the more you guys share, the more I'll be able to make these YouTube videos, which is really fun. So now what we're doing is working on the crumb coat. The crumb coat is the coat of buttercream on the very exterior of the cake. And basically what this does is it locks in any crumbs that want to get up and out of the cake, which is, you know, that happens a lot. Like cakes are crumbly. If there are good cakes and they're not overcooked and burnt, they're going to be a little crumbly because, you know, you've got these moist crumbs trying to pop off the cake. So the best thing you can do, this is always to me the most satisfying part. Do you guys like this part? So the best thing you can do to avoid the crumbs getting in your like last exterior final coat is to give it a real good crumb coat. Basically what you do is you frost it in a very thin coat of buttercream or ganache or whatever you're frosting the cake with. And then you go ahead and pop it in the fridge or freezer for a couple minutes. What this will do is it'll lock in the crumbs to that first layer of buttercream so that when you do the final coat, the final coats, if you're doing a couple coats, it's not gonna get in the way. It's not going to get in that coat, I should say. At what point do you decide a cake needs support? It looks a little wobbly given the height, so I wonder. Yeah, it's a really good question. Like this cake could use some support for sure. If it was any taller, I would definitely run a dowel through it. I think we're going to be okay with this. And the reason for that is because it is so straight. Can't relate, but the cake is so straight. And basically what's gonna happen is each cake layer is just gonna sit directly on top of itself. If I was carving this cake and making a shape, certainly if this cake, like, let's say this cake were shaped like, I don't know, a pot where the base is smaller than the top, I would definitely put a support in it because the cake would want to wobble on the uneven bottom, you know? So highly sculpted cakes, I almost always run dowels through the center so that they stay in place. If you're doing a wedding cake and there's 3 tiers or more, you definitely want to run a central dowel through it. And the reason for that is because wedding cakes often are made in a bakery and then have to be transported to a venue like the wedding venue. And what happens there is the cake wants to move around in transit. And if you put a central dowel through it, it'll be less likely to like tip over. Do you guys like the way I described that with the visuals of me wobbling? Let me know if you have other questions. My wife loves making your cake kits and I love eating them. They keep doing well. Oh, sorry, maybe a medium difficulty level. So thank you, I appreciate that. Did you find, or did your wife find the first 3 cake kits easy? Or were some of them a little too difficult? I think they're various levels of difficult. I believe for sure the cereal cake. Here, sorry, I'm just doing a quick test to make sure this is still straight up and down. Frosting can correct a little bit of wobble and wiggle, but you definitely don't want frosting to have to do all the heavy lifting. You really want the cake layers to rest on top of each other. I did so good on Is It Cake? I was your favorite character. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I had so much fun on Is It Cake, particularly on season 1. And then I came back for the holiday season. If anybody has any questions about Is It Cake, please ask away. If I could make my own Netflix show, what would you make? My friend the other day was like, there should be an Is It Cake Junior for kids that you host. And I was like, that would be a dream job. Watching like sweet kids bake. The best thing about my cake kits is that I get to see photos and videos that you guys send me of you and your families making the cakes. And I get a real kick out of that. Can you please have a shout out? Hello, everybody. How we all doing? So this is a crumb coat. So basically what this is intended to do, as I said earlier, is lock in all the crumbs. And then we're gonna put this in the fridge for a little bit to set up. And then we'll go ahead and do a final coat so that we can get like an actual exterior to it. Johnny, what was it like being on a cake competition? It was really fun. It was often stressful, but often fun. You know, like some days were stressful, some days were fun. And I love the pressure of like competing against my friends on these shows. What I don't love is the time that we have to compete in because I work very slowly. So here's the cake right now, and you can see the frosting is coming off on my finger. So we're gonna have to set this to get it a little bit firmer before we do our next couple coats. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge and I'll come back and we'll talk. I'll answer any questions y'all may have. You know the drill. You know how these live work. Yeah, let me know if you guys have questions about, is it cake, about, I mean, honestly, anything. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Also, guys, let me know what everybody's favorite snack from Trader Joe's is. I am doing more Trader Joe's videos for my YouTube channel. So basically we'll be taste testing various Trader Joe's products, which I'm really excited about. And we're gonna go and do like so we did the Trader Joe's, what is it called? Frozen food. On these lives, sometimes I can't remember words. I think it's because like I'm multitasking. So please forgive me. So, sorry that I keep going away. So, but basically, we're gonna do more Trader Joe's taste test videos. And the next one I believe is going to be Trader Joe's frozen food. I'm gonna try everything at Trader Joe's. Or no, not frozen food, I did that already. Sorry, I'm losing my mind today. We're gonna do Trader Joe's snack items. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay, I have this log of buttercream that I dyed this nice dark fuchsia, and I have a piping bag. So I'm gonna show you guys how I make a proper piping bag full of frosting. Basically, for this one, I want this piping tip. This is called a 1M tip. It is a Wilton piping tip, I believe. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, Wilton 1M. And what that is, this is a very traditional, this is probably your most traditional piping tip. If you can think of like the piping that goes around most like birthday cakes or wedding cakes, it's probably a 1M tip. It is, again, like the most commonly used piping tip. What I noticed is that the tip got a little bent. Sometimes that happens if you're not as careful with these tips as you should be. So you just kind of want to pull them back out to make sure that they're like nice and even, and that the star tip, it looks like an even star, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to put the piping tip in the bag, and I'm going to cut out a tip from the bag so that I can get a nice even, or sorry, rather a nice hole for the tip to pop out of so that we can actually pipe out of the bag. And what I've done, I think I showed this already, but I've taken frosting, buttercream that I've dyed already in a bowl, and then I wrapped it in plastic wrap. The reason I do this, it's almost weirdly like an ink cartridge that I'm gonna insert in my piping bag. So that way, it's easier to, it's hard to explain how to do this. If I were to take buttercream out of this bowl and try to pack a piping bag full of it, there'd be a lot of air bubbles. It'd be hard to get into the crevices of the piping bag. So if you do it like this, like a cartridge, you sort of lock and load it, and then it's much easier, I should say, to pipe it out of your bag. I made the hole a little too small, which is a good problem to have. You don't want to overcut, because you can always take more piping bag off to make a bigger opening for the tip, but you can't add piping bag back on if you cut it too big. That should make sense. That should make sense to all of you guys. Does that make sense? Perfect. What do we think? Now I'm going to take this piping bag, sort of rest it in my cup, flip the excess over the sides, and then take my cartridge, pop it in, and attempt to squeeze this out. Let's see. Usually I work with 16-inch piping bags, 16-inch are the best because they allow you to have more room to fill with buttercream. These are 12-inch piping bags. These will work just fine. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm like pushing it out of this cartridge I have here and into my bag, right? So I still have excess here, but the good news is I can always refill it later. So there we have a beautiful piping bag full of buttercream, and let's just do a little test. I'm just gonna pipe it out onto this. Perfect, it's coming out perfectly, beautifully. We love to see it. Okay, let me go grab the cake from the fridge. It's set up just a bit. I'm going to start working on another coat of buttercream so that we can really get this cake moving along. It was not in the fridge for that long, which is totally fine. It's literally not that big of a deal. Another thing we could do is do like rosettes around the whole cake. You know what I'm saying? Or we could frost it and then do vintage piping. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see. Rosettes all around the cake or vintage piping on the cake. You're subscribed. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Honestly, he has a lot more patience than me. Oh my gosh, and this is like a really easy cake to make. Rosettes, vintage, 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 rosettes, vintage, vintage, rosettes, vintage. All right. I think you guys want to see me do vintage, which is totally understandable. Vintage is cool. It's going to take a little bit longer, but hey, who's mad? More time I get to spend with you guys. For a second there, I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it in time, but I think I will. And you know what? If we don't finish it in this live, guess what? I'll finish it for a video and I'll post the video online and everybody can be totally fine. I'll post it to my YouTube shorts if we don't finish in time, but I think we'll get pretty far along. So again, I'm going in with white buttercream, just another layer of buttercream. And this is gonna allow it to be a little bit thicker. And also, I am not somebody who can just do one crumb coat and be done. I like to do 2 layers of crumb coat. Basically what that means is instead of just having it so that my cake has a thin layer of white buttercream before the final color I put on, it's gonna have a little bit thicker of a layer of white buttercream, but it's not gonna be like a huge thing of buttercream on the outside. Some bakers are really good at doing a razor paper thin layer of crumb coat and then doing their final coat, which is often a different color. The reason I don't dye the frosting that I put inside of the cake most of the time is because food dye, even if you use a little bit, it still has a slight taste to it. And the frosting on the interior of the cake and in the crumb coat is what most people eat. That final coat of frosting on the outside is like, just the thinnest part and the part where there's the least amount of buttercream that people are actually eating. Does that make sense? So basically the white uncolored buttercream, or if it's like chocolate buttercream, the chocolate buttercream. Basically, if I'm gonna fill a cake and crumb coat it, I'm usually gonna do it with undyed buttercream. I think it's just a little bit more like tasty, to be honest. Adding less chemicals, you get the idea. Okay, so we are continuing to frost this. And I will say on these lives, I don't do as good of a job with the cake because I'm looking at the cake from the back so that I'm showing you guys the front. And sometimes I miss things. Usually I'm like in front of the cake looking at every square inch of it. So it might not be as perfect as normal. Not that I think I'm perfect, but hopefully it's fun for you to watch this regardless. Again, if you want to see more videos by me, the best thing you can do, truly, the thing that really helps is go watch my videos, share them with your friends, comment on them. That helps enormously. I remember I've watched YouTube for years and years and years, long before I had a YouTube. And people always say in their videos, like and subscribe, share with your friends, yada, yada, yada. And I was always like, okay, like, relax. Like, I'm here, I'm watching your video. And it's now I kind of understand it. It's like, no, there's nothing I love more than making these YouTube videos. Well, that's not true. Like, I like my family more. No offense to you guys. But there's very little I like more than making these YouTube videos, and the way that I'm able to do them and the way I'm able to, hire a team and hire an editor and do all of that and continue to make these videos is by your support. So I really appreciate everybody who's supporting my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's such a fun thing to get to do. Okay. We did another coat of white buttercream. What do we think of that? No offense taken, who dreams of work? Well, I work. This is work, I swear. I don't know if you were talking to me. Maybe you're talking to somebody else in the comments. Wait, hang on. This is funny. Okay, first time catching you live. I love your content. You're the Brad Mondo of cake. Got the lamb vindaloo at Trader Joe's. Thanks for the hookup. Oh my God. First of all, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. So this commenter is saying that they tried the lamb vindaloo at Trader Joe's. And I think what they mean by thanks for the hookup is that it was in the top 3. It may have been I can't remember if it was my favorite thing, but it was one of my top 3 favorite frozen foods at Trader Joe's in my frozen food from Trader Joe's review video. So I'm very glad that you liked it. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I think another thing is, like, a lot of people know that I have TikTok and Instagram, but not everybody who, like, follows me knows that I have YouTube. So that's another reason why it's nice when you guys share my videos, because it lets other people know that I'm doing this. You've always wanted to go to Trader Joe's. I hope you get there someday. I know that it's not available in every part of the country or the world. So yeah, but it's all over Los Angeles. Let me just say that. There's a Trader Joe's on like every dang corner of LA. All right, so here's where we're at. A little bit thicker of a layer. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge and we'll keep going. For this round, I'm probably going to chill this for like a full 10 minutes. And while I do that, I'll answer some more questions from you guys. Bummed that Trader Joe's is apparently anti-union. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. What a delightful surprise to get off work to find JonnyCakes stream. I know I never do streams here, so I'm happy to be here. Any tips for ordering a wedding cake? I'm getting married in August. Yes, definitely have some tips. Really, my main tip is to, word of mouth is great. So ask around people who have, gotten wedding cakes in your area. But the main thing I say is definitely to do a tasting. If you can, if the bakery offers a wedding cake tasting, I would do that. You really need to know what the cake is tasting like. Where are you getting married? Maybe I can give you some recommendations. We have a Wegmans here, and many people are jealous of that because they're not ever. I don't have Wegmans, I don't think, in LA. No offense taken for wanting to hang out. Only been to Hawaii. My sister's a baker and she washes and loves you. You found my YouTube. Do you prefer buttercream or whipped ice cream? I prefer Swiss meringue buttercream, and there's a way to make easy Swiss meringue buttercream. You're getting married in Northern Indiana. I'm sorry, I wish I could help you. I don't know anybody. Johnny, how bad is your eyesight? Can I try on your glasses? Yes, you can try on my glasses. Can I get a shout out, please? Shout out, how are you? Nice to meet you. Hello, thank you for being here. What's your best organic, healthy food coloring for cakes? Okay, so they make a lot of powders. They do like, God, what's the word for it? Like a freeze-dried powder, sometimes like raspberry or strawberry, and those do a slight dye to cakes, so you can try out those. Anything powder that is like an organic food, search for powders, right? So like food dye powders or organic food dye powders, and I think you'll find something. Have I ever made a cake substitute with no dairy and no eggs? Yes, I have. So there is a great vegan vanilla recipe. I forget who does it. Search vegan vanilla cupcakes with strawberry frosting, and the recipe might come up. It's the best. So it's a vanilla cupcake, and this recipe has strawberry frosting, and that vanilla cake recipe, I forget who makes it. I wish I could tell you. It would help you find it. That is my favorite. What I would do, also Oreos are vegan, so cookies and cream is a really good thing for vegan cakes. It adds like an element of fun to like a vegan cake. This vegan cake recipe I'm telling you about, you cannot taste the difference. It's so good. Use oat milk. I think they call for soy milk in this recipe, and a little bit of vinegar. But I use oat milk instead, and it works great. Favorite YouTuber I've collabed with? Well, I work with the Try Guys. I love them. Rosanna Pansino's really sweet. I'm trying to think. I love Josh from Mythical Kitchen. God, I'm trying to think who else I know. Question, could you make a snowman sugar cookie on a live or a snowman cake? I mean, I could. It feels like not the right time to do it because the holidays are over, but I guess it is still cold out, so we can maybe do that. Do you think you can bake a cake from start to finish blindfolded? I mean, I could do a bad job of that. I couldn't do a good job of it, but maybe that doesn't matter. What do you think? Should I try that in a live? You're an amateur cake maker. Any tips on how to improve piping technique? Absolutely. So what I would do, you can buy, first and foremost, get some cheap buttercream. So if you make it, maybe make it with shortening or Crisco so it's cheaper than butter because butter is really expensive. Or you can buy pre-made buttercream from like a Wilton or a brand like that. And what I would do is I would look for buttercream that doesn't crust. So Crisco is a really good example of a base of a, I feel like I'm not using my words correctly today. Crisco doesn't crust over, butter does crust over. The reason you don't want it to crust or get hard is because if you do a non-crusting buttercream, you can pipe out like on a cookie sheet or on literally anything, parchment paper, and then scoop it back up, throw it back in a bowl, mix it up, and pipe it out again. So basically you're able to reuse the buttercream, whereas with a true buttercream like what I have here, once the icing or the buttercream sets a little bit, it gets hard and it gets crunchy. It gets crust on it. Think about like if you were to touch a birthday cake out of the fridge, the frosting wouldn't come out on your hand. You really don't want that when you're learning to pipe because you only get one go at every time. Does that make sense? Is it easier to make flowers with flower nails, or do I not need them? It's definitely easier to do it with flower nails, but if you don't have it, that's not the end of the world. But yeah, I definitely like a flower nail because you can spin with your hand and pipe with your other hand. You guys are asking good baking questions. Do I have any good go-to gluten-free desserts? So I am not great at making gluten-free cake. I'll be honest with you. There are people who do a really good job with that. So I don't have like a go-to recipe, but yeah. Let me think on it and get back to you. Other than Is It Cake, what show would you have been on? You are so talented. Please do more live streams. Thank you so much. I think I will do more live streams. This is really fun. If you guys share and like and get this out there more, it's easier for me to do more live streams the more people come on here. Absolutely watch you judge a cake decorating competition between people who don't know what they're doing. That could be a fun video series. That would be really fun. I would love that. Have you ever made pavlova? If you have, what are your tips for making them? I have made a pavlova before. It's really tricky, actually. I did not have great success with my pavlova. For those of you who don't know, pavlova is a dessert that's a baked meringue paired with either fresh fruit or maybe fruit like sauces, things like that. I think they're really popular in New Zealand and Australia. They're way less common in the United States. In fact, I didn't even know what a pavlova was until I started baking because I saw like on baking shows I watch people making them. My tip is this: don't listen to me, right? Like I'm not the expert on pavlova. So like there are plenty of people out there who can do a great job making pavlova. I am not one of them. I know that's kind of a shitty tip, but I don't want to give you false information. I know that oven temperature is hugely important and I believe it's low and slow, but I'm not sure about that. I would watch Zumbo make a pavlova. I bet he's the best at it. Go on tour and just bake cakes on stage and hand out slices to the audience. That would be so fun. I would love to do something on tour. I would love to see the United States and the world and get to bake all around everywhere. Any tips for someone making cinnamon rolls for the first time? Yes, I actually do have a tip. This is more of a cosmetic thing, but I think it actually makes quite a difference because you're going to roll up the dough with the cinnamon spread in it, right? And then you're going to cut it into equal pieces. Take floss. You've probably heard of this trick, but take floss, wrap it around your cinnamon roll and squeeze it so it cuts with the floss. That makes it so that you don't get, you know how sometimes when you cut a loaf of bread, it flattens the loaf? This avoids that. Basically, you're taking a piece of string or floss and you're pulling at it. So it's pulling from every direction and it's squeezing in towards the center. So it doesn't smush it. It doesn't even cut all the way across. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. Does that make sense? If not mint floss though, unflavored floss. That is such a good point. Although, honestly, people say no mint floss, but it's like, will it make that much of a difference in taste? You know what I mean? Does that much flavor come off of it? I don't know. Maybe it does. Yeah. Bro, can you make me some? I'm making a cake right now. You're auditioning for a baking show soon. Any tips for making a judge-worthy dessert? I mean, definitely. So here's my tips for auditioning for a baking show. You didn't really ask for this, but I'm going to give it to you. Be yourself in these auditions. If you're interviewing with producers or sending in a videotape, be yourself, but be yourself like at your absolute best. So if that means, for me, that means like, have a cup of coffee before the interview because I need to be as energetic as I possibly can be. Because if I'm like in a mood and I don't want to talk, I do this for lives too. Like, right, I get prepped. I like rest before and then I have a cup of coffee. I get energized. And the reason for that is because when I come on here, I don't want to like put y'all to sleep. And these producers who are making these reality shows want to make sure that the contestants are interesting. They don't all have to be wacky, crazy, kooky girlies, but they have to be the most interesting version of themselves. Like I can think of plenty of reality show contestants or even like baking show contestants who weren't like, like I'm crazy. I'm like a wild and crazy guy. I'm like Jack Black. But they are personable, right? There's something you want to watch. So just be on your, like treat the interview, like, you know, put your best foot forward. In terms of what to make for dessert, I would say make anything that has a connection to you as a human being. Another thing these people who are casting these shows want to see is that you're not just a robot. We want people to root for you. We want the audience at home to root for you. And the quickest way to root for somebody is to get to know them. And the quickest way to get to know them is to see human connection. I'll give you an example. If I was going to go on a baking show right now, I might make my grandmother's famous, or I guess it's not famous, but it's famous in my family, baklava. And as I was making it, I would tell people, this is why I'm making it. My grandma, every day I would go over there. I would, you know, after school, she would always be cooking. And my favorite days were when I went over to my grandma's house and I walked in, I could smell baklava baking. You know, that smell takes me back to my childhood. My grandma, you know, had 10 children. She had 30 nieces and nephews, 30 30 grandchildren, 30 great grandchildren. So my family was like 90 people. It was huge. It was loud. It was crazy. And I talked about my family. I did this when I was applying for JonnyCakes. I said I come from a big Lebanese family. Anyway, the reason I'm saying all of this is because you get to know the person, and that's the key for casting reality shows. Yes, they want you to be a good baker on these baking shows, but they also want you to be an interesting personality that people will root for. Anyway, that was long-winded, but does it make sense? Did I get to keep my apron from JonnyCakes? Well, I stole it. No, actually, I don't know why I keep saying that I stole it. They gave us these aprons when we were like leaving for the final time. Sorry, I just walked away without any explanation. I'm just like leaving you guys to sit and watch a blank screen. No, the reason I walked away, and there's a good reason, is because I'm grabbing my cake so that we can keep decorating it. Now, this is not as set as I would want it to be, but I have to like keep going with this live. So we're just gonna go for it, folks. We'll see what happens here. This might bleed into the coat beneath it, but honestly, we're not striving for perfection. This is a YouTube live. This is not gonna be the most beautiful cake I've ever made. I'm much more interested in having a nice chat with you guys, and decorating a cake is sort of like secondary. You know what I'm saying? So I always start by getting a flat top on the top of the cake. And the reason for that is because it's much easier to go through and flatten the sides at the end than it is to flatten the top. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody out there, but I'll kind of show you as we go what I mean by that. I can already tell that the color is kind of bleeding into the crumb coat, which if I was not doing this on a live would be absolutely unacceptable, but we're not gonna wait for an hour to let this set up fully. So, sort of is what it is. Doesn't have to be perfect, now does it? So I'm going to all of the bald spots of this cake where I see white from the crumb coat, and I'm just giving it a thin layer of the pink frosting. Now, I'm going to take my bench scraper. Ow, I really just cut myself. Ouch, I just sliced my finger. That's live TV, baby. The other good news is the only person who's gonna eat this cake are my friends and family. And they don't care if I cut my finger while I made it. I don't run a bakery, so I don't have to be as food safe. Ouch. I'm really bleeding. But the show must go on. You know what I'm saying? At least they're tasty. Yes, my blood is very tasty. Okay, now I sound like a cannibal. I swear I'm not. Not me having to defend myself against cannibalism on a live. You heard it here first, folks. JonnyCakes, not a cannibal. Do you miss the Try Guys? No, I was literally filming with the Try Guys the other day. I'm there all the time. Girl, get a Band-Aid. Do I clean my floors before I eat cake off of them? No, I get them extra dirty. No, just kidding. Yeah, yes, I do. And also now I basically only, like people are, okay, this is a reference to those videos where I'm like eating cake off the floors, like when I cut a shoe-shaped cake on the ground and then eat it. And let it be known that I always, and I really mean this now, I always eat it off of like a wooden mat. Who's gonna clip what out of context? No, don't do that. Don't clip, don't ruin my life, don't ruin my career. How's this looking? It's a little wonky, I know, but y'all, we're doing the best we can. And also, I don't know if you remember, but I did cut myself. I cut myself on the live. I'm really bleeding, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. Medic. I'm gonna keep... I'm bleeding. Like, I don't know what to do. Get a Band-Aid? Okay. Please get a plaster. What's a plaster? Let me see if I can procure a Band-Aid. This is crazy. Well, no one eat this cake. I'm gonna give it to my brother and that's it. Yeah, just laugh your pain away. That's what I'm trying to do. It's funny because, like, what do I do? So I don't know if you saw me cut it. Did you guys see it happen? I was like trying to clean off this cake scraper and I sliced it almost like a paper cut, but it's not, it's just a regular cut. It's just a metal cut. I love that. Like, if you cut yourself on a knife, you wouldn't be like, oh, it's kind of like a paper cut. It's like, no, that's just literally a cut. Okay. I might honestly, since I cut myself, I might keep this. You just got on the stream and You said I'm bleeding. I said I'm bleeding. Yeah, I am bleeding. And honestly, that's live TV, baby. I've never done this before. Just like fully cut myself on live. I hope I'm up to date on my tetanus shots. I am bleeding. Do you have, like, maybe a Band-Aid? If we don't have any, that's totally fine. I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny, right? Get those YouTube views. I just don't know, like, with this cut, if I'm gonna be able to make this cake correct. I'm working with one hand, you know what I mean?
How do you feel about a pad and some tape?
A pad and some tape. I feel really good. Thank you so much. This is why you always keep a first aid kit in your home, you guys. Okay. This is funny because, like, it turned out, like, I was really fully planning on doing, like, a beautiful vintage piped cake. And I'm just not sure we're going to get that today, you guys. And that's showbiz, baby. Did you hear me complaining about it? I was saying it almost felt like a paper cut because I was trying to clean off this. And I, like, ran my finger down it. And then it went...
You're not one to complain, and you said it multiple times, so then I got nervous.
Well, the issue is that I just don't think I can make this cake as well as I would like to. But I feel fine, and I think I'm up to date on tetanus. That's what I was just saying before you came in. Oh, how are you doing in there?
Me? Oh, good.
Was it annoying hearing me bitch and moan about?
Not at all.
Let me know if you guys have other questions. Can you say hi, Pookie? Hi, Pookie. What about gloves? Baby, here's the thing. Here's what I want all y'all to know. I am not making cakes for customers. I am making cakes for my friends and family. So I am not this...
Guess what I found?
What?
A Band-Aid.
You found a Band-Aid. Oh, I was hoping for a whole pad.
I do have a whole pad and
No.
tape. I also have an eye patch.
An eye patch? What do you think I am, a pirate?
Maybe.
Thank you so much, though.
Do you want to sterilize it?
I probably should. Oh yeah, I'm bleeding all over the coat. Hang on, let me just quick wash my hand. Sorry guys, technical difficulty. Don't worry, I'm still here. Yes, I cut myself, but not on purpose. And also we're fine. Everything's fine, okay? And one day I'll look back and laugh. Hey, remember that live when I was profusely bleeding? I thought I got the bleeding under control. But you know what? I didn't. Is it bad to get frosting in an open wound? Thank you so much.
Of course, this is big enough.
Yeah.
You can do the pad.
No, it's big enough. I'm just trying to get my hand not wet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's sweet. You're like my mom. I can do this. You don't
Okay.
have to do that. I don't know why I held it out. Like,
I did.
will you kiss my boo-boo?
Yeah.
And that's Zoe. Now, Zoe is so responsible for everything at JonnyCakes. JonnyCakes couldn't work without her. We love her. Everyone say thank you, Zoe. I don't know if you remember Daddy Dan from my last live, but she's Mommy Zoe. And she even helps me with my cuts.
Don't tell Cake Twink.
I won't tell Cake Twink. I got avocado in the oven in an open wound once. I'm still living. You'll be fine. That's good to know. I feel like avocado might have some healing properties, though.
Absolutely.
If-
Antioxidants.
Antioxidants. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have fun.
Good luck. Sorry to take you away from the beautiful work you were doing.
Oh, you're fine.
This isn't going well. Like, I made a thumbnail for this live, and the cake on the thumbnail is so not what is happening right now. But I only have an hour. What am I gonna do? Hey, by the way, the icing artist here on YouTube, who I absolutely adore, just sent me her new cake scraper. And it is the best cake scraper in town. And just so that we clear up any confusion, this is not the cake scraper I cut myself on. Her cake scraper is very safe. So go follow the icing artist. She is awesome. Okay, cool. So we're getting closer. I mean, this is ugly as hell, but we're about to hit the hour mark. So like, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? This is kind of a fun challenge. Like, how ugly will my cake look that I have to make in, like, are we kidding with that? If you only give me an hour to make a cake, how ugly will it be? Although I did have to deal with an open wound. All right, let's leave it at that because I literally don't have time. I just like don't know how to tell you that I don't have time. We scheduled this for an hour and we're over an hour now. All right, let's pick this bad boy up. Open wound, open wound. It's a gel-based color. Yes, I use a gel. Look how ugly this is. Yes, I use a gel-based color for sure. It makes the cake, it makes the frosting, I should say, so much richer. And I use the gel-based color on the interior of this cake as well. Okay, for those of you just joining, this is not what this was supposed to look like. I did cut my hand, so I was bleeding for, I don't know, what do you guys think? Was that 15 minutes of bleeding? 10 minutes? So it really cut into my time. But that being said, the show must go on, and I'm just gonna finish this cake as if it, like, let's just pretend this is beautiful. You know what I mean? Like I know it's ugly, but that's literally okay. You know what? YouTube rewards failure. And I tried my best, and isn't that all we can ask for? So okay, so pretend. Okay, shit, pretend that's beautiful. God, you guys, I have no time. Hang on. Oh God, what am I gonna do? Oh no, you guys, the panic setting in. Okay. Okay, so this is like half of a cup. It got wet when I was washing my bloody hand. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and do this, score the buttercream, and that's where I'm gonna put my little like ribbons of frosting. This is so ugly. Oh no, it's so ugly. It's not that bad. I promise you it's bad. Maybe it doesn't look as bad on camera as it does in person, but I assure you it's bad. But you know what? We have fun here at the JC. And I'm not talking about Jesus Christ. Hey, what did you guys think of that bishop that like said that thing to Trump? I thought it was beautiful. I don't know if you can tell from the way I look or talk or generally am, but I'm not a giant Trump fan. So this week's not been great. And again, we have another cartridge full of buttercream. So this live is gonna go a little over an hour, even though I'm speeding up. And I hope you guys are cool with that. All right, so now I'm gonna go over all of these marks I made and do a shell, like whoop, whoop-de-whoop. I don't know what these are called, but I call them whoop-de-whoops. You know what I'm saying? What do you, oh no. Oh no, this looks so bad. Absolutely stunning, but surprising too. Very forward for the church. I agree. Wait, I literally can't believe how bad this looks. Like, I really thought we were gonna get a beautiful cake out of this. You guys can see me make like beautiful piped cakes on my channel though. If you go to my YouTube shorts, the last video I made was a piped cake. And that was from a couple years ago actually. So I've gotten much better at it. Not that you would ever be able to know based off of every shitty thing I'm doing today, but just pretend, okay? I literally can't even see what I'm doing because I'm trying to show you guys, and you probably can't see what I'm doing either. Let's just make it really bad. Let's just make it ready. Let's see if I can do a blindfold. How's it look? Wait, this is kind of funny actually. Let's see if I can do one more. Ready? Okay, here we go. Close my. Oh no. You guys, oh no, you guys. This is not good. Okay, now we gotta do. Oh no. Okay, ready? Now we gotta do it around the border. Should I do it blindfold? Okay, ready? Am I doing a good job? What do you guys think? Is this so good? Oh no. Oh no, you guys. I used to be so good. What happened to me? No, I'm doing great. We'd be the perfect messy pair. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is freaking crazy. Okay, next I'm gonna make little flowers, okay? Okay, so next I'm gonna make little flowers. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Nothing about this is funny. This is very serious, and I'm being so bad. But also, this is kind of like very funny, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes bad and funny are the same. Okay, so let's take a little bit more of this pink buttercream. Buttercream, pink buttercream. Should I do it blindfolded? Let me know in the comments. Vote right now. This is actually crazy. Should I do blindfolded or not blindfolded for the flowers? You feel like I actually don't know how to decorate cakes? Come on, I have so many videos online of me decorating cakes. Do you not believe me? It's a good metaphor for everything. Honestly, this cake is a visual representation of how I'm feeling this week. All right, ready? We're gonna do it blindfolded. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hang on. They're not even like where they should be. I need to at least like, oh yeah, that's okay. All right, I'm gonna open my eyes. I swear I do know how to bake. You guys are like, no, the one time he's live, he actually like shows that he can't bake. No, I'm a baker, I swear. I think I'm a baker. Should I quit my job? Let me know. We're almost done. So the final thing I'm gonna do is add little leaves to it. And then we'll cut into it and see the beautiful rainbow interior, which I think will be the best part. I thought there was an earthquake outside, but it's just a guy bringing in his trash. That's my neighbor Chuckles. We call him Chuckles because he's always laughing. I love my neighbors. They're great. I have another neighbor named Queen Deborah, and she's awesome. She was a queen when she was young. See what I'm doing? Adding the... Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this blindfolded. Sorry. Hang on. Like, this is heinous. I mean, intentionally, right? Like, we gave up halfway through when I cut myself with my cake scraper. I mean, if that's not beautiful, I don't know what is. You guys ready? You guys want to see me cut it, right? Like, you don't want me to end this live without cutting the cake. Am I right about that? This is just like Trixie's Easy Bake videos. That's so funny. Don't forget to like the live so I can keep doing what I'm doing. That's right. All right, you guys are saying cut the cake. I will wash my fingers. I swear I'll wash them. But let's get a beautiful cross section. I will wash up after this so that all of the blood gets all of the blood in my frosting. Probably not sanitary. Ready? Everybody ready? If I do this and it's beautiful, will you like this video and share it with a friend? All right, on the count of 3, 2, 1. Wow. Okay, honestly, that's pretty. Isn't she pretty? Hang on, I'm gonna cut this a little more even because I wasn't looking at it when I cut it. Let me just even this out so that it's a slightly nicer cut. Hold on. This is like what food stylists do. Okay, honestly, that's kind of cute. It is lopsided because I frosted it like a freaking maniac. But hey, at least the inside looks good. And you know what? As in life, with cake decorating, it's not about what's on the outside. It's what's about on the inside. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun today. I know we went a little over an hour, but to be fair, I did have a little accident. We'll do another live soon. Let me know what you want the next live to be. I would love if you would go back and watch my old YouTube videos. We just did a fun Epcot, eating around the world at Epcot video. We've done Trader Joe's review videos, easy bake oven videos. I baked a whole Thanksgiving dinner in an Easter egg oven, and we've got a lot more fun videos coming your way. I appreciate you all being here. Go be gay. Don't listen to Donald Trump. Much love. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Oh no.